All right. Looks like we're good to go again. Again, I say. Because this is take 2. All right, so let's go. Looks clear. Super Bowl Sunday. Guess that's why there's so many cars here, people visiting. I'm sure that everyone is social distancing. See, usually there's not this many cars over here. So as I was saying earlier, this is now my second video. However, my first time using the GoPro. Hopefully the audio is okay, the video is good, and from what I can see, I think it's recording. So again, a short ride. The whole setup on the GoPro to the helmet and everything it takes to make it work, along with other things I had to get done today, took longer than expected. So another short ride, but better a short ride than no ride. That's the positive part. So you guys let me know, what do you think? I hope it's a lot better than the last video. Which, by the way, the only reason why I did that other video is my GoPro needed to charge up. Wasn't ready for it. It took 4 hours, it said, to charge. So I said, I'm going for a ride. And I used my iPhone, the one you can probably see right there. So it picked up a lot of wind. I did a voiceover for it. Wasn't 100% proud of it, but you know, you got to keep moving forward. It's better to do something and learn than do nothing. And so what did I learn besides that I never want to make a video like that again? Is how to edit a video. Again, my first one, so I know it'll get better, but it was fun learning new things. So my goal is to put out a video at least once a week. Let's go this way. So here I am on my Vulcan 900. It's actually 903 cc's, but you know, it's called the Vulcan 900 Classic. And I actually am a re-entry rider. I haven't ridden in a couple of decades, and when I did ride, I actually started on a 250. Which was a lot of fun back in the day. Those were the thing to have, a 250 scooter. It was great. I think I took it could only go as high as 89, but riding a scooter does not make the ground any softer, believe me. I think I met it like 3 times. And I would say that my critical errors is braking. Maybe using too much front brake or too much rear brake at the time would make my front or rear slide out. and there's some other variables in there, but I would say if I had to look into what I can do better, it would have been the braking. Never had any classes, and honestly I was a little nervous about getting back into riding again. And when I told my mom, she was not very well, she's very supportive, but very, very concerned, because gravity seems to be always attacking me. So in order to ease both our minds and everyone else's around me, I actually took it very slow. Now some people might say, but you're driving a 900. Well, we'll get into that. But what I wanted to do is get a safety course. There's some pluses in that. Sure, I could have just practiced on my bike once I got it. I definitely passed the written test at the DMV. But I could have practiced, watched a bunch of YouTube videos on some tips, which there's a lot of good content out there on YouTube University. But there's nothing like having someone who watches you and can point out some errors, which I did have a few of them. So I actually signed up first weekend of January 2021. Harley Davidson had a class. It was about an hour from me, but because of the current situation, I was very lucky that they had an opening. I called to verify, and he's like, someone just happened to drop out. We have an opening this weekend. Do you want to go? And, well, I went. Learned a lot. I suggest anyone, whether re-entering or a new rider, to take that class. Doesn't have to be Harley Davidson. It's a MSF course. I think it's based off Total Control. I learned a lot. There's a combination of classroom time and of course riding time. And it was interesting because we actually rode on the Harley Davidson, name's leaving me, it's the 500. And I think Harley Davidson actually discontinued them for 2021. And I have to say, I was not happy with those motorcycles. It was too small for me. And actually though, when I got back to get on my bike, I felt like, whoa, is this too big for me now? But once I went out again a little bit, I got the hang of it. Always something more to learn. But the 500 was definitely too small for me. It actually made the driving part a little hard on the training course. Hard for me because, you know, as you start taking off, I just felt like my knees were up at my chest. So trying to lift your feet up on the pegs and take off and try to do whatever the obstacle was, you know, it just was not fun. Luckily they happened to have an extra seat which raised me up a little bit, which did help, but not always. So why a 900? Well, I'm not the smallest guy or the biggest guy, but I am not going to last on a 250 or a 500, as I just talked about. And I looked at the Kawasaki 650S. I really liked the technology that motorcycle had. ABS. I think they even had traction control. But when I was really starting to look, I happened to see this bike, and I was a little concerned. You know, 900, is that too big? Well, at the end of the day, we control the throttle, and I've been driving for many years, so reading traffic wasn't the problem. But still, this is considered a mid-range bike, even though some people think it's a big bike. There's a lot bigger for those that don't know motorcycles. But it works out for me. I think, just off the top of my head, there's a lot of videos on these motorcycles, and I'll get into the details for them, but I think this only has like 77 foot-pounds of torque taking off compared to some that are 150. And I have to say also with this motorcycle, it's very forgiving for re-entering. I'm not sure about a beginner, but at least for re-entering. Oh, I've never been on this road before. It's actually kind of cool. The only thing you gotta watch out for is these critters when they come out. Yeah, very, very forgiving motorcycle. I've been on a curve where maybe I wasn't in the right gear and it didn't like shake or complain. You could feel that the engine was not in the right gear, but it still was able to pull through and get me either out of that curve or whatever situation I was in, which, not that there was any bad situations, thank goodness. Anyway, I think I was also talking about this motorcycle coming up, and when I went and looked at motorcycles, and I didn't want to spend a lot on a motorcycle, I couldn't find anything that was really great for the amount of money, so I kind of went up a little bit on my budget. See, checking that car, they have a stop, and I saw this one on the Facebook Marketplace, and they were about an hour and a half from where I am. And like, I want to say in the middle of nowhere, but they were just up on the mountains of nowhere. And they actually were asking much more. But then a week later, it was still there. And I went out Saturday looking for bikes. Was very disappointed in the quality. So I ended up calling the person for this one, and met him on early Sunday morning, and it was very, very well taken care of. Only had 4,000 miles at the time. I think I'm about 7,500 now, so maybe a little over 4,000, 4,100 maybe, and very well taken care of. Had a couple of Harley motorcycles as well, and they just wanted to sell this one, as they just bought another Harley. So I was happy to take it off their hands. So it was very far away, didn't have my motorcycle license, but my daughter happened to have a friend who did, and he was willing to ride it back for me. Really nice guy, and actually he even did the test drive on it. I just kind of went on a visual inspection, turned it on, it was cold, verified VIN numbers, and I was good. When he went for the test drive, he said he was good, and very, very nice people, so maybe I just got lucky. I consider myself blessed to be able to own basically what is a toy. It's not, this is definitely a want, not a need. And so I'm blessed to be able to have this. And actually, I do think for re-entering motorcycle riding, this is a good size for my height, which is 5'10". I can easily flat foot this motorcycle at a stop. It has comfortable footboards. The mileage was low, and it just seems to always start. And actually, the first maintenance from Kawasaki is at 7,500, which is already scheduled to be dropped off, actually in about a week. So yeah, so I decided to get back into motorcycle riding. I'm enjoying it, and actually the biggest thing that I enjoy is learning. I have to say, taking that class was great. Learned some bad habits that I already picked up just, you know, when I did get my rider's permit. And you know, the instructor was very tactfully direct, which I like. You know, another thing about riding, there's a lot of pressure always going on in life. We all know what we've been through in 2020. Then we got our personal lives, we got our day jobs, and on top of all that, I'm even been working on a startup, so, and consulting at the same time. I mean, I had a lot of things I'm juggling at the same time, and now here I am motovlogging, which takes the GoPro, learning how to use that, learning how to edit. But at the end of the day, I think it's much funner, I guess, I don't know, is that the right word, to go for a ride and be able to talk at the same time, opposed to just riding alone. I know physically I'm riding alone, but for the few of you that are watching, it's fun to be able to talk to someone. And I don't know where I am right now, in a way. See, I'm going into No Outlet Road. I had no idea. But I definitely want to have a lot more rides that I want to share. As a re-entry, whoa, bumpy road, market. As I re-enter into riding, I want to learn and share how things are going and get tips from others. Feel free to comment if you think there's anything I can do better. Like I said, I love learning. I want to take more classes, and I'm sure there's other people with much more experience that probably notice something that maybe other people will pick up, or people can pick up of like, oh, I don't want to do that. Hopefully I am not doing anything that anyone's concerned about. So here we go. U-turn, loose gravel. Turn your head all the way to the left. Look towards the center. And there we go. So back on the motorcycle. Again, I'm very, very happy with it. As a matter of fact, I can stop right here, do a quick walk around. Looks like this might be a good spot. I would say that the only thing that I like better on this bike as a re-entry is ABS. I think ABS would be huge, especially with my comment on braking. So I did put in an LED light. I want to be seen. Everything else was pretty much, well, let me take that back. I replaced the seat for a single rider, Saddleman, very comfortable. And I put these large Viking bags on it. It was stock. Again, like I said earlier, I'm very blessed. Yeah, so the only thing, this could be your beginner re-entry bike forever bike. Or, you know, you use it, get a few miles, get good at it, and upgrade for your needs. And upgrade for your needs, not upgrade for what everybody else has. Whatever you think it is what you need. Could be something smaller. I think if this motorcycle definitely did have ABS and traction control, it would be awesome. I don't know if you noticed when I walked around the bike, but This is a monoshock one, so it looks like a softail. Well, it is a softail, but I guess when I hear softails, you typically think Harley Davidson. So this is the Kawasaki softail, which is adjustable. I haven't adjusted it. I'm pretty comfortable with it, and maybe if it was easier to adjust, I would do it. And by easier, I mean easy to get. It's somewhere underneath this seat. I haven't even found it. I'm trying to dodge all these cracks in the road, which I have to say, one of the things that I really didn't like about riding my scooter, and I never thought of, oh, it's because it's a scooter, a 250 Honda Elite scooter. Those cracks in the road, your tires would go in those grooves and you would just ride it. And it's like luckily none of those cracks that I ever felt like on the freeway or those grooves, they were never the reason for me finding the ground in the past, but they still were not fun. Anyway, with this one, again, I should probably know all the specs, but as you probably noticed, and you look at a Kawasaki 900 Classic, the tires are much wider than a scooter, and those bumps that we just saw are more of a nuisance than scary. I'd like to know what you guys think about about a Kawasaki 900 for beginner riders or re-entry. Maybe not beginner riders, unless, you know, if it was somebody asked me, is that a good beginner rider? If they're mature, they have driving experience where they already don't have to think about being alert, because you become alert becoming a regular car driver, although, you know, you have to heighten that on a motorcycle. And they're mature, meaning that, you know, they're not driving around, they don't want it because they want to go 100 miles an hour. They just want to go out and have a nice ride. Then I would say, sure, I think it's a good idea. I'm happy with it. Those are kind of the reasons why I went ahead and moved forward with this one. Any comments? What is it that you'd like to see off this Vulcan? Any questions you have for someone that is re-entering the market or re-entering as a rider, that maybe I can help you out with, or maybe the folks that are reading or watching this vlog, maybe we can all help each other out. So with that, I want to say thanks again for watching. If you've watched this far, my goal is to put out a video every week. And one more thing, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Feel free to share anybody that is interested in a Vulcan, and just let me know, what is it, the kind of videos that you'd like to see. I just want to show my journey. I'm definitely going to be sharing maybe some first time windy roads that I'll be on, and I'll be honest, if it's scary, I'll be honest, if it's not scary, it's not any fun, but you know, it's just gonna get interesting. I'll definitely end up buying probably another camera to put on here, but baby steps, right? Last video was on an iPhone. Now we stepped up on a GoPro. Who knows what's gonna happen on my next video? So thanks again. Hope you guys are having a nice weekend, enjoying the Super Bowl, and I look forward to reading your comments and making videos based on what you guys are asking for. Take care, and good night, good morning, good evening, whatever it is for you. Bye.